Well, the main man, Peter Fury, of course, who is coach, lead trainer, mentor, everything, I think, for April and for Savannah.
Wow.
But we watched them go through the paces tonight as well. I mean, you've had them in your gym, obviously, down in Congleton for a while. And, I mean, how do you assess their progress, Peter?
I think Savannah's getting unbelievable, to be honest. I think she's just progressing. We're working on different stuff all the time. You know, it's not stagnated where we're just doing things, you know, working on everything in the book. And now we're working to her proper attributes where, you know, she's powerful. So we're just maximising that to, you know, less shots, but, you know, getting in range and being able to release quality shots without much exertion, if you understand me.
I was going to ask that, Peter. I think Savannah's power it's really been talked about the last sort of 3-4 fights, hasn't it?
Yeah.
Did you know it always was then just getting her to relax, throwing the shots and picking them at the right time? Is that what you felt it was?
Well, she's always had the stature, you know, the tallness, that long levers, you know, so it's just a matter of just breaking things down. And, you know, it takes years. This is, I think we've been doing it 4.5, 5 years now, and it's just over that time, it's just increased. The more relaxedness, the fluidity and everything else, getting the distance, being relaxed under pressure, being able to deliver back.
Yeah,
you know, all these types of things.
You can see it, yes.
You know, she's coming on, that's what I mean. She's just getting better and better. More mature as a fighter.
It's a tight gym you've got there as well, hasn't it? Obviously with the girls and Hughie's in there training all the time as well. And you're kind of out the way a bit. And is that a real positive, do you think? I mean, I know you get sparring in there and everything else and you bring them up to other gyms. So do you think that environment's really conducive to progress for them?
Oh, it's like home to me, you know. Well, we live there. So the gym's on the doorstep. So we go in, it's an enjoyable atmosphere. It ain't a gym where everybody's trying to kill each other. Nobody's interested in what goes on in there. It's not about killing each other in there, it's about learning. You know, so it's all about picking things up gradually and steadily and just working on things we're working on. Like some days or weeks we might just work on a jab.
Yeah.
You know, and then we'll add other things to it. So it's a good tight unit and we all get along very well. And the main thing is everybody's in a happy mood, so it works.
Pete, we said before we spoke off camera, April 2nd's a busy night for you. You've got Savannah, you've got April, you've got Michael on the card. Have you had it before like that, where you've been out that night, where you've had an handful of fighters on in a night? Do you mind it, or do you prefer it?
Yeah, you know, I'd rather it because sitting in the dressing room on them benches just waiting. I hate waiting.
Waiting for the call. Yes.
You're waiting, aren't you? You know what it feels like. So basically, if I'm busy with other fighters, you know, it's nothing for me. So I'm not doing the fighting. It's taking them on the pads, talking to them, and it keeps me busy. So I'm happy to do it. It's easy for me.
And then you're going to have Hughie back in action soon as well?
Yeah, we're looking mid to the end of April for Hughie. We're just tying down opponents, but we're looking all kinds of good opponents. You know, Luis Ortiz, you know, we're trying to get him at the minute. You know, Chisora, he's asking a fortune, so obviously he don't want it. Who else is there? Some good fights. We've got Alenius. The WBA's announced something there, so we're having a look at that. So nothing's tied down at the minute, but Hughie's going to be in a good fight. And you know, the type of names I'm mentioning, he's not after walkovers, he's after good fights. You know, so
a win against any of them kind of names are going to put him right.
Well, to be honest, Luis Ortiz is at the top of our list because I rate him above the others I've mentioned.
Yeah.
So I'd rather Hughie fight Luis Ortiz to show the public where he is.
And when you think about it, when you think about the age of Luis Ortiz, I know he's still a massive threat, as he's proved in recent years, but Hughie is still so young, isn't he? I mean, he's been in so many big fights, hasn't he, for a very young heavyweight?
But he's boxed from 18, now he's 27, so he's 9 years as a pro.
Yeah.
And although he's been a kid in it, now he's a man, so he's ready. And where people say he's been in it a long time, not really, because he's learned and he's had to grow on the job. But look where he is, he's 29, 30 fights. He's lost 3 to world contenders. 1 he got robbed of, in my opinion. He should have been a WBO world champion, only for the snakes. Like
Joe Parker fighting Manchester.
Exactly. Yeah. So he's an uncrowned world champion already. So he's just developed and developed and developed. So nothing's lost. It's all positive.
Yeah. Just on that, by the way, Peter, and because we can't escape controversies of a few days ago. Again, you're talking about decisions not going your way. I mean, it's just not going away, this, is it? I mean, in terms of decisions, and I mean, what would you want to be done? I mean, if you had the magic wand.
Well, first of all, I feel sorry for the fighters because even Josh Taylor, who, you know, he's had a controversial win, he must feel terrible at the minute. He's looking on social medias. This kid's trained his heart out.
Yeah.
You know, he did look drained at the weight, I'll be honest.
Yeah.
He didn't look. He does need to move up because he's big for that weight.
Yeah.
I think he should move up. So when I give an opinion, it's not against the fighter because I respect all fighters and the trainers and everybody else. But you know, a blind man with a stick could see who won that fight. You know, and it's, you know, robberies are going on. You know, whether it's you're fighting a unified champion, you got to knock him out to win. That shouldn't be like that, should it? You know, look, I scored the fight, 2 rounds even, probably 2 rounds to Josh. To be fair, the rest of it was a walkaway. You know, how do they score fights like that? You know, it's complete robbery. And listen, you judges who's watching, you need to sack me. I'd sack you on the spot if I was in control. You'd be sacked immediately because you don't know your job. That's it. Let's be open about it. If you want to say you've made the right decision, you ain't made the right decision. Yeah, you're cheating fighters that trained all their life. So if you're an ex-boxer and you've been in there, why are you doing that? You know, there's no respect. You got no respect. You don't give respect, you don't get it.
That's fair.
I just got to say what's on my mind, you know. I've had it done to me. I've had it done to me, lad. Just don't like it. It's wrong. Boxing shouldn't be like this. When Hughie fought Povetkin,
yes,
5 or 6 rounds, I said, yeah, you're doing all right. I said, now turn it up. Povetkin was too strong for him down the line. And I said to him in the corner, I said, look, you're losing that. And when the final bell come, I said, I've given it Povetkin by 2 rounds. I didn't look up and say, oh, Hughie's been robbed, I thought he won. You're not blind in this game, are we? If you lose, you lose. The better man's won. Take it on the chin, come back and have another go at it. We're in this sport to be fair and treated fairly. You don't want to win falsely, do you?
No, it's right. No, Peter, one more thing. The stable now. Is it growing? Were you going to take more fighters on? Or?
I keep saying, you know, I don't want to take more fighters. I really don't. You know, April's come, she's a lovely girl, you know, and look, I don't mind helping people. If I can help them and it's not hindering me, it's fine.
Yeah.
But, you know, I just want Savannah, Hughie to achieve, the fighters have got to achieve good things, get them on the right track, and that's the name of the game, isn't it?
Yeah. Peter, always good to see you, mate.
Anyone, it's a pleasure, mate, it really is.